Good morning, YouTube. Today we're going to talk about accessories you might want to own if you have a Ferrari.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan, and this is our dealership, NG Supercars. And of course, we deal with a lot of Ferraris. And one of the things that we've been asked actually a few times is, what are some of the things that I need to buy when I buy a Ferrari? What are some of the little trinkets, accessories, whatever? So I've assembled a good collection of things that you might want to have. These are obviously not a comprehensive list. It's just a suggestion of a few things you might want. They are Mo approved. Mo is very sure that you need to buy some of these things. Keep doing that. So let me show you our kitchen of accessories and we'll go through it. But do me a favor, check out our website, normalguysupercar.com and NG Supercars. And there you can buy parts and services from us and our dealership website. We do appreciate all your support. Of course, like, share, and subscribe. All right, we're going to show you some of the accessories you might want when you own a Ferrari. So, first one, kind of tongue-in-cheek, but actually kind of serious. Get a fire extinguisher, please. We hear about Ferraris catching on fire here and there. We sell these Element fire extinguishers. These ones are nice because they don't ever go bad. They last a real long time. They don't put out like the weird chemicals and stuff, which is potentially less harmful to your car. If your car catches on fire, obviously it's going to get damaged anyway, but you know, less harm is better. So if you want one of these, go to normalguysupercar.com. We only have a few left, and I hate to tell you, but we're not going to continue to sell them once we sell out of them. Just kind of, I hate to say it, but we don't make any money on them, so we're not going to sell them. But we like them. I really like these, even though we're not going to sell them in the future. That doesn't mean you shouldn't go buy one. Other options, they have like a little fire thing, and obviously you got like the regular old bottle. Make sure it can actually handle gasoline. Gas fires is very important, so like an ABC one, yeah, that's really important, but these will work too. Next up, we have a radar detector integrated with a dash camera. So have both of those things. Have a radar detector, have a dash cam. If you get one that's got both, that's great. That's even better. And buy a good radar detector. I am pretty sure that my radar detector has more than paid for itself tenfold over in saved tickets. Worth every penny. Dash cam, also super good idea in case something happens and, you know, that you got proof and hopefully it wasn't your fault. Moving along, I think it's really important to keep just a bottle of quick detailer and a microfiber in the car. You don't have to buy the big bottle. You can get like a little, just like a little bottle, a little sampler bottle. You get these sometimes at car shows and stuff. They'll hand them out as like a goodie bag or something. Just great to have something like that, just in case like a bird poops on the car or, you know, gets whatever. You just want to quickly like just tidy it up, you know. Don't use this obviously to like clean the whole car, but you know, just bird poops and tree sap or something like that. Good idea to do that. Apex. We sell these on our website. We're going to continue to sell these on our website. Awesome stuff. Go to normalguysupercar.com. Buy some Apex stuff from us. We do love their products. That's not a requirement, but not a bad idea to keep a radio or walkie-talkie in there. We're a big fan of these. The UV5Rs. The 5R Pro has the more power. Reason is some of the trips that we do, people have radios and they communicate through them. They're very helpful if you're doing like a group drive. So not a bad idea to just keep it in the car. That way it's there and you don't forget about it. But if you don't keep it in your car, definitely a good idea to have one of these if you're doing these group drives and stuff. If you're going out solo, whatever, it doesn't matter, but I think they're super, super helpful. Great idea. Keep some extra oil, at least 1 quart. Obviously, specifications to your car, 5W40 for the V8 cars and the 10W60 for the V12s, depending on which years and blah, blah, blah. But good luck finding this in the US, but Platinum Euro, that's the stuff that we use. So definitely have some of that around. A charger and cord. Yeah, you're probably going to have your phone die at some point, especially if you're navigating. And if you have one of the older cars, it almost certainly does not have a USB port. So get one of these little cigarette lighter adapters and make sure that your cigarette lighter actually works. I've seen many of them don't work, but really, really, really want that when you're out doing navigating or whatever. And yeah, you know, phone dies. Speaking of phone, get a good phone mount. Get a really nice suction cup phone mount, or there's even some that mount to the dash. You can put it in certain places where it won't hurt the dash. worth its weight in gold if you have older cars that don't have nav, so which is a lot of the cars. I think it's a good idea to keep a bottle of tire seal and tire inflator because yes, your car might actually have the tire inflator, but let's be real, it's like 12, 15, 20 years old.
I've tried to use it twice
and they fail.
Both times it's done.
I've had it work once on one car. My 458 it worked. The factory one actually worked. And after that, I was like, okay, I'm keeping a bottle of this shit in the car. Plus, then you don't have to actually use the factory stuff because a lot of the times the factory stuff's still in the plastic wrap. So keep a bottle of this stuff. Yeah, it's not ideal to put this crap in your tire when you get a leak, but it is what it is. Like, it's better than being stranded. So, yeah. Speaking of which, make sure that you have the toolkit for your car that came with the car. Make sure it's actually in the trunk. So, and it has all the tools. Sometimes we see missing tools. Just in case. Not a bad idea. Also a really good idea. Get a good tire pressure gauge, okay? Because you never know when you need to check something. Again, older cars, a lot of them don't have tire pressure sensors. So, you know, you could get screwed. I'm actually going to jump to the end. If you don't have the factory battery maintainer, buy one. This is 100% a required thing, in my opinion. Should absolutely have one. C-Tech's our favorite brand. You can get the little C-Tech. It'll come with a pigtail just wired into your battery, and then keep it plugged in when you're not driving. You might have one of the old school battery maintainers. Check out these ancient things. Look at that. This thing weighs like 80 pounds and is supposed to keep the battery in good condition. Okay. Well, if you have one of these old school ones, don't use it. Just get a modern one. Seriously. Along those lines, not entirely a bad idea to have at home one of these jump boxes. So we don't recommend jump starting a Ferrari. You can risk damaging the instrument cluster and stuff. However, these jump boxes seem to be pretty safe. Your best bet is to just plug it in to a charger, like an actual battery charger, and let it sit until it's actually charged again. But if you're in an emergency, one of these jump boxes can actually get these things started. Another thing to remember is if you have enough juice and you have an F1 car, you can actually do a push start on an F1 car. Don't jump start Ferraris. It's a bad idea. We don't ever jump start Ferraris. We will use the bump box or we'll just charge it. Or replace the battery. I mean, this is a backup. Like, I would do this before jump starting it, but do this carefully. Computers. All right. This, at a minimum, keep a little baby OBD port reader. You want one. These are like $30, $40. You can get nice Bluetooth ones that actually interface with your phone on like Amazon stuff. They're still like $50, $60 or something like that. Just get a decent one. At a minimum. That way, like if you get a check engine light, you can read if it's like, oh yeah, it's got misfires, it's going to explode. Or if it's like, oh, it's just emissions bullshit, keep driving, who cares? Now, if you want to go full bore, get yourself a Launch X431 or something high powered that actually can read Ferrari stuff. Now, that's more of like, oh, I'm actually going to work on the car, I'm going to change my clutch position sensor, those sorts of things. It's a much more powerful thing. It's going to be doing a lot more stuff. Those cost around $1,000 to $1,500. So substantial investment. Not a bad idea if you're going to have the car. And honestly, if you're going to be driving around, not a bad idea to keep it in the car. When we go on trips, we bring one of our computers and it's helped us. I wouldn't say saved us, but it's helped us. So that's a good thing. Driving gloves. I didn't actually have any driving gloves, so I just put some mechanics gloves there to remind me. But a lot of people like having driving gloves. Along with that, driving shoes, not a bad idea. I know it looks douchey, but they do make a difference. Some of the cars you can't even drive unless you wear driving shoes. For example, I cannot wear my normal shoes and drive a Ferrari Testarossa. There's not enough width.
It's usually the old ones that
right.
suck.
Yeah, I had first time I ever went to go drive a Testarossa. I could not get my foot between the brake and the gas pedal, so I had to take off my shoe and drive it barefoot. True story. So driving shoes are great because they're narrow, they're flexible, you can feel the pedals better. Good idea. Driving gloves, I don't think they're quite as critical as driving shoes, but still not a bad idea. And keep a pair of latex gloves or, what is it? Not latex, but other stuff. The other stuff that's non-allergenic or whatever. Keep some of those in the trunk just in case you ever have to like look at something that's gross and dirty and whatever, and like the problem is it's it's fine getting dirty. Oh no, big deal. But if you're on the side of the road and you get dirty and then you don't have any way to clean your hands, well, now you're gonna be getting in a leather car. You don't need to be like putting your greasy, nasty hands all over all this nice leather and then potentially damaging the leather. So a couple pairs of disposable gloves in case you have to check the oil or something. I don't know. There's 1,000 reasons I could think of that these are handy to keep in there. Not a bad idea to get a jack. I know they have the tire inflator stuff, but not a bad idea. Not saying you need to. All right. Last two things. One of them, I don't actually have a key cover for a Ferrari, so I took out the McLaren key cover. I apologize. But it's actually a good idea to get a cover for your key because a lot of them get scratched up or paint chips or whatever, especially if you have it on a keychain with a bunch of keys and you keep it in your pocket and they're all jingling around and scratching each other. And we've seen some pretty beat up keys before. So I know I'm not a big fan of these things. They're kind of stupid and silly in my opinion, but it's better than having to repaint your key or get it recovered or whatever. So not a bad idea to get a key cover. And finally, this comes from a tip from our friend Jeff. He always kept earplugs in his car. No shit, because if he had a guest or someone else ride in the car with him for the first time ever, or as he liked to say, when he had ladies in the car with him, he would offer them earplugs. He also would keep hair ties in his car, which I think is brilliant. If you're a single man and you're getting random women in your car and you have a convertible, keeping some hair ties in your car is kind of a stroke of genius. So earplugs for people who, if your car is loud. Obviously, if it's factory and whatever, it's probably not a big deal. But if you have an aftermarket exhaust and so on and so on, earplugs not a bad idea. Hair ties for you single guys out there to be, I know the ladies, I got my hair ties, and you might get some action that way. I can't confirm or deny if this happened for Jeff. Hopefully it did. But there you go. There's an assortment of accessories, and clearly there's more, but these are some things that I think are really important. Some of them are far more important, like this is extremely important, that is extremely important. This is a pretty good idea if you're on a road trip, and these are critical if you're actually navigating over extended periods of time. So if you're actually doing a road trip, but other stuff, really probably good ideas to have some of this. Anyway, some of it we sell on our website, normalguysupercar.com. Most of it we don't. So just go buy it wherever you can find it. Amazon, other places. I don't know. Figure it out. We sell the chargers. Yeah. If you need a C-Tech charger, we do sell those. So again, go check out normalguysupercar.com. But that's it for this video. I hope you found this helpful. Feel free to put in the comments below. What are some accessories that you guys have that I missed? I'm sure I missed a lot. So put in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And we'll be doing a lot more cool car stuff. So you're going to want to stay tuned. It's going to be sweet.